Cloud. Mark? I think that's Mark. Okay. So I'm recording, so anything you say can and will be used against you from here on. Any eye rolling or obscene gestures to the Director of Education will be used against you. And if you're like Alexi and you're not seated there, I'll know that you didn't attend even though you, real quick, some best practices about Zoom. It'll take 2 minutes, but I think the more we do this, the better it is for you because you're going to want to use this with clients. Get your camera on you, preferably in a, there you go, in a way that frames you nicely and isn't full of bizarre light sources that either make you a silhouette or make you super glary. And I know what I'm talking about. You have the capacity to stop your video from working, but you stay in the conference. If you hover over your Zoom screen and go down to the bottom, there's a toolbar there that lets you do a lot of stuff. You can mute yourself down there. You can stop the video, which only turns your camera off, but you stay in the conference. It doesn't turn your voice off. You can invite people. If you're doing a meeting with a client and they're like, well, I really need my husband in this, bing. Click invite, and you can, it'll bring up an email screen with the invite on it, and you can email it right to them, and they can join within 30 seconds. Manage participants. You guys are real estate agents. There's no managing of anything I've learned. You're a bunch of freaking cats. Okay, share screen. You can share your screen, which I'll be doing in a moment. It doesn't just have to be the person running the meeting. Anyone can choose share screen, and then your screen will dominate the monitor. You can chat. If you click chat over on the right side of the window, a chat thing opens up. Lexi, I chatted with you. Does it pop up automatically even if you hadn't pushed chat because I did a private chat with you? Or do you have to open that window in order to see it, Alexi?
It just highlights it at the bottom.
Okay.
You have to be in the Zoom window.
Okay, but I did send you a chat. Did you get that?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, and it worked. I told her to figure it out. She couldn't figure out her phone. Lexi, the smartest woman in Colorado, and I said figure it out, and then she figured it out. So there you go. And then end meeting is over on the right. If you are done with things, you can just end meeting, and I think I might be the owner has to, the person who schedules the meeting, I think, has. Does anyone else have end meeting in the bottom right of their toolbar? No? Okay, good. So you can't leave.
It says leave meeting.
Okay, leave meeting, so you can exit yourself out, but I'm the only one that can actually end it. So hi, Rick, how are you? Vale, nice to see you all there. Okay, Shawnee and Daisha, Steamboat in the house. How many folks do we have there, Daisha? 17, 24? Excellent. Too many to even count. Okay, so what I want to do today is just make sure we know what we're talking about from a big standpoint, which is innovation. And then I want to drill down into a couple of things that you may or may not know about in IQO. But what I've found, whether it's the most seasoned agent in the office, I'm pointing at Stephanie, who is so seasoned she doesn't have to pay attention to any of this, or
I am listening,
or someone brand new. You have to do IQO things about 25 times in order for it to stick. The toolbox is so deep, you use a socket wrench today, and then you're using an anvil the next day, and then you're using a planer, and then you forget how to use the socket wrench. So I don't think there's, I think there's value in just reiterating these things, and what I'm trying to do is introduce you to what I think are really cool features within IQO and hope that you find a couple. Like Lee said last week, she uses the blog. Great. Find a couple that you use regularly and with fluency and that you can be the expert on. And that's fantastic stuff. So before I share my screen, just really quickly keep in mind that every month we have a different circle of excellence that we hope as a company is helping make all of you raving fans of the company and of the services that we provide for you as an agent. This month's Circle of Excellence is innovation, and as I said last week, and I'll take to my grave, Coldwell Banker could have been called Innovate Banker, It's just always on the edge. It's always seeing what's next. We've got people in Las Vegas right now at the Tom Ferry conference getting their heads filled with great ideas, innovative ideas. There isn't anything about this company that isn't innovative. And that's 80% good and 20%, oh my God, right? And so we understand that there's a lot of stuff always coming at you. Lexi and I have these conversations all the time. How much can we put out there? How much do we need to train? We understand that. What we hope to do as an administrative team and your MDs and your OMs is to make these innovations digestible for you so that they're not big scary beasts, but they're nice little dogs that will come and sit on the couch with you and you can pet and all that kind of stuff. That's where I'll stop with that metaphor. But we don't want the innovation to be scary or overwhelming, even though I know it is sometimes. We want the innovation to be helpful to you, and when you find that thing that works for you, to really just hammer on it, okay? So that's why one of our circles of excellence is innovation, and we want to make sure that we are staying ahead of the game because, as you know, as an agent, if you are not pushing the envelope, then things are passing you by, okay? All right, so that's my treatise on innovation. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump into IQO. So here I go, and I'll wait for some thumbs up to see that you can see my screen. Hi, Bethany.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Look at Vale in the house, man. We got Betsy and Rick and Mark and Bethany. That's fantastic stuff. Okay, I never heard from Daisha. I must have done something to make her mad. Shawnee, are you on this call?
I'm here.
Hi, Shawnee.
I'm here. Hi, Derek.
Daisha said, I'm here after I said, Shawnee, are you on this call? That's my
Hi, Daisha. Hello.
All right, enough. We got people who have things to do, right? Right. Okay. You can see I'm acting as Kelly Maves today, and unlike last time when I just acted as Christy without permission, I reached out to Kelly and said, can I act as you? And she said, sure, as long as you don't focus on all the things I haven't done in IQO. Look at that, 82 actions to do. Kelly means two things. It means A, you're super busy. It means B, you got a lot of actions to make up for. This isn't going to derail her or anything like that. As we know, IQO really wants to keep you on the ball in terms of your leads, especially. Are you keeping in touch? Are you hitting them with information? And if not, it's going to keep saying you have more actions. There are ways around that. That's not what this fan club is about. But if you could time block 5 minutes out of every day to come in here to your actions on your homepage, click on that, see what it is, complete them, you won't have this double-digit number. Okay. Kelly and Jamie Moats in Grand Junction, pretty active agents, which is why I'm acting as them, because they've got a lot of things I can show you with their listings and such. And please feel free to interrupt with a question. I love the Zoom format because it feels like we're all sort of in the same room, and you shouldn't hesitate at all to just raise your hand or interrupt. I'm happy to stop and see if I can answer your question. Okay, so here are the couple things that we're going to go over today. We're on the home page. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, even though the look of IQO is changing, or maybe you use the modern look, you've got to think of these things in the blue bar as your file cabinets. IQO is your home office where all of your real estate business for you lives. And you've got 12 file cabinets right here, and then these 3 up here where all of your different things for your business live. Okay, in today's fan club, we're going to look at about 3 different file cabinets that if you search through all those drawers and files, you're going to find some pretty cool stuff. First place we're going to go is into our listings, okay? If you're on your own computer doing this, great. But if you just want to watch, I'm recording this and you'll be able to see it on YouTube and do it at your own speed, totally fine too. So I click on listings. Not my favorite aspect of IQO is that it always defaults to the company listings when you do this. And so you click listings and you're like, oh my God, I have 829 listings? What? I don't even live in Grand Junction. I don't know if that's your voice or not, but it's an amalgamation of all voices. Right here, then, you want to go to My Listings drawer. Alexi, I can see that. Stop it. When you do this, I can see it. We're on Zoom. Okay? So I go to My Listings, which is right there. I wish it defaulted to My Listings because probably you don't care, Stephanie, about Grand Junction's listings. Okay. Here are then the listings that I currently have that are active or pending. You see this one here is pending. This one's here is pending, still be shown, so on and so forth. So Kelly and Jamie have 3 things going on right now. Fantastic. I can organize these. Can someone mute, please, unless you have a question? Thanks. I can organize these in different ways. Most of these bars are alive. It's organized right now by list price. You see that arrow there? I can also organize it by when I added it to the MLS. Keep in mind, all of this stuff is pulling from the MLS. You don't do this entry into IQO, you do it into MLS, and then IQO pulls it. So this ad's going up. So this is not maybe the way I want to see it. I'd like to see it. What's the latest thing I've had? Just yesterday, they brought on this great little home for 217. So you can do it that way. You can do it by updated. When did you do something to your listing? It'll tell you then. So really handy to know that you can do this all. You can organize these the way you want. Okay, actions button is a hover button. Keep that in mind. In IQO, the actions button is a hover button. So don't touch anything and you get a drop down that pops out. Some of you may know this, but this, I think, is one of the very coolest things about the CVDP platform and IQO, is that you can come in here and you can find and immediately send your listings website. All of our listings have their own individual website that makes it look like the coolest property ever listed in the area. And if you don't know that these things exist, you need to know. So you come over here to Actions, you hover, and SLW stands for Single Listing Website, which is where you find the awesome, totally dedicated to the one listing website. So I'm going to click on this one here. I'm going to use the globe because that will give me the website. If I wanted to post it to my Twitter, bang, I just go right there. I can do that. If I wanted to post it immediately, this single website, to my Facebook, I can just do that. If I want to do it to Google Plus, because there's 4 people out there that use Google Plus, I don't know. And if I'm female, I want to do maybe my Pinterest. No, I'm kidding. I was joking with a friend that males don't use Pinterest, I don't think. And if there are any males out there that can prove me wrong, great, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and click on the globe because it's going to open up a new window. And it's going to take me to this awesome website. Okay, let's not worry too much about the photos and everything. Best practice is not to have a truck in your photo. Okay, but this is the website for this listing. And doesn't it look like it was, you paid $100 to get this one listing, this one website? It's big pictures. It's super clean. It's got the description. It's got the features. It's got a photo gallery. And maybe this listing's too new, but it should have the video down here. It's got a map. It's got schools. It's got other searches. It's got your information at the bottom. It's killer. I think that's fantastic. If we go, let's look at another one. And that's a pop-out window. I can just copy that URL and send it, or like I said earlier, I can do these other things with it. Let's look at this one. Wait.
So if you go to the globe, then it's going to take you to the website, and then you're going to cut and paste the URL. But if you just go to Facebook, it's just going to pop it in there already.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to make it active unless you say publish, right? But so how would I get this if I wanted to send it to my seller, which I think you should do? Hey, seller, look at your property's website. Isn't that cool? They're going to be like, dang, I'm glad I hired this one. So you would just copy, Control-C, and then you can send that as an email. Lots of functionality there, and I just think it's one of the best things going for your listings. Okay, so again, you're in My Listings, not All Listings. Although you can do this with any listing in our company. If a co-agent, someone in your office, just brought on something that totally fits one of your buyer's needs, you can. It doesn't just have to be your listing. You can go to that listing, grab that URL, send it to your buyer, and say, my co-agent just brought this on, and you need to look at this. We need to go see this house.
Can I ask a question?
Kathy's going to ask a question.
So if you do that, does it put your contact information in, or the listing agent's contact information at the bottom?
If you're using somebody else's listing.
It's going to put your information in.
Because it's coming from yours.
Because it's coming from you. And Lexi, does that sound right? Can you confirm, or do we need to figure that out?
Yes, it will be coming from you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so just know that in your listings, you've got this actions tab that gives you a lot of power for instant stuff. What are these other ones? Well, you can experiment. I tend to use the single listing website because it's the website out there. I think the details in the showcase are, let's see, I think they are IQO based and not quite as awesome looking. So the single listing website, to me,
Can you click it?
offers the most bang for the buck. I've been asked to click the top one and see what that looks like.
It's just the details.
So it's more like an MLS page, even though it's the IQO.
Got it.
It just doesn't look as awesome to me because the photos are squished and that sort of thing. And if we look at the next one, I'm boring one of the people in here, so I'm going to start telling some jokes. Oh, this one looks good too. I'm not sure exactly what the distinction is between these. And IQO, this is where like the amount of tools sometimes gets overwhelming. Figure out which one you like and use that one, right? Just get really good at one of them.
That shows pictures.
Oh, right. Kathy's saying this shows them all right there.
Yeah, and the other one shows more of the static video,
No, it showed the pictures.
but they're below, right?
Yeah.
It looked the same to me, but maybe, so this should.
We'll look at one more, okay? See if we can just, I'm going to go to the single listing website. Description, details, and here's the video. So that other one was so new that it hasn't had a video first. This is the auto-generated slideshow video that all of our listings get and end up on YouTube. Again, a really cool thing. You send this, and not only do they see the photos, but they can see the video and listen to the guy talk about the bathroom while he's on the kitchen, whatever. We're going to look at how to edit that in a second too. So really good stuff. Have I convinced you? Yes, great, excellent. Okay, well, Mr. Education, what else can you show me about my listings? Actions is a hover button, but do you see when I hover over each of these bars, they all light up, so to speak? Is it possible to light up in gray? I don't know.
You can get deeper gray.
Deeper gray. There's 50 shades. No, there's probably not 50. All right. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to click on this one, and what does it do? It takes me into the details of my listing. And this is an in-house thing. This isn't something that your clients are going to see. This is stuff, and it might not look the same for you because, again, I'm an admin, and sometimes I get more options on these pages than you do. But this is where you can come in and do a few things. All of this information pulls from your MLS. I don't recommend that you do any editing in here because I don't think it transfers the other way. I think it only comes from the MLS. Okay?
And it will, in fact, I believe if you did do something, it would erase it and kick it back to what it was in the MLS if you did something.
Okay, so just do your editing for your listings in the MLS. That's the best practice. And Lexi, this is where you need to come in and say no, so don't be afraid to contradict me. Okay, so why am I even showing you this if there's no editing or anything like that? Because you are in this listings drawer. And this gray bar is a bunch of drawers that have to do with this listing. Pretty powerful stuff in here that I think you're gonna like. Here's the details page. Let's just go across and see what's in all these drawers. You got a map. That's pretty cool. If you have any attachments, they're in here. And you're saying, well, what good is this if I can't use it with my clients or whatever? This is where all of your information as a real estate agent for this listing lives. Okay, so think of it as that file folder for that listing. It's all right here. This is your online office folder for this listing. If you have,
What would attachments be?
well, if you have, I think if you,
Like, is that coming from the MLS?
I
So if
believe
I
so.
put it in documents in the MLS, then it's gonna auto-populate.
I think it pulls here.
Okay.
Alexi, can you confirm that? Is attachments, does it
I don't know that it automatically pulls from the MLS. If Teresa is in there, she might know about that. But you can upload a document there. So any transaction documents that you have or inspection documents or anything like that.
Okay, so again, this is just for you. You know, upload it to the MLS, yes, but I think best practice is this is your folder for this listing. Put the stuff in here, I think. Okay, so I'm guessing because 2 or 3 I've checked that attachments. I haven't seen anything in there, so I'm guessing they don't pull.
Okay.
But if you want a place to put stuff, it's right here. Okay. All right. Open houses. I don't think our agents use the open houses feature in IQO enough. Maybe it's overkill because you're doing it in the MLS. What's the upshot of using it in IQO? I've heard a couple of agents tell me, and agents feel free to jump in and tell me, yes, you should totally, or why waste your time? I'm wide open to these thoughts. But it lets the office know what's happening. It lets the agents in your office know on the homepage what open houses are happening. But probably the best place to do it is in the MLS, so that all the agents.
And Derek, let me double check, but I know for Bozeman, if they put their open houses in the MLS, they automatically feed through and will show up on the website. I think that can happen for every office. It might be MLS dependent, but if you start putting them in the MLS, they should feed through.
Okay. All right. So we'll try to get that functionality happen, because we really want IQO to have all the information and all the action about your listing, right? That would make sense. But what we don't want to have happen is where you have to do double entry. Put it in the MLS, now I got to put it in an IQO, now I got to set, like, we want it to be seamless, so we'll try to make sure that functionality happens. Okay? Showings. And Grand Junction, I know, well, there's hardly any Grand Junction because you're all moving or something, but I know you guys use showing time, right? Yes, okay.
Correct.
Okay, so this is where you would come in, though, and find you can change the instructions, and I think this is a valuable place to do this, because a lot of times if your OMs, like in the Sun Valley office, are setting up showings, they need to know the instructions and keep things straight here.
I think it even goes beyond the OMs for us here. If somebody else is sitting at the front desk or somebody else answers the phone, then they're able to go into this and see exactly what the other agent is looking for to have happen. It puts all the information in one place.
What do you mean see what the other?
So if this is your listing, Stephanie, and I answer the phone, and somebody says, I want to show this property, I can go in and pull this up and know exactly what the instructions are and not have to scramble around and try to ask what I need to do.
So isn't that put in by the OM?
It is put in by the OM.
Okay.
In this office.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's make sure that when offices are talking about their procedures, those things do not carry over to all offices. You know, Lisa and Barbara and Dacia and Jennifer and Ashley and Margaret all have their own procedures, and those are the people that run those procedures. So when we talk about that here, that's how it operates in Sun Valley. Okay, reports. We've gone over this before in an earlier fan club, but we were using Uber Conference, so maybe it didn't make the impact that I think it should. This is a really cool thing that you can do for just this listing. We're only talking about this one listing, 3121 Price Ditch Road. Hey, what a cool road, man. I wonder how many times they've lowered the list price on that. Anyway, you can come into this, the reports drawer, and and you can generate reports that you can send to your seller. You can CC yourself. You can CC your MD. Maybe if you're a new agent and you want to see how this works and you want to impress your MD, you CC Keith, whatever, where you can create reports about this listing and about the competition, so to speak, in the area. All these are drop downs. You have control over how much you want to, what type of price range you want to add into this, zip code. Then down here, the report, just leave it at do not send before you do any of this, but you can include or uninclude all of these different things in the report. Okay, I guess, should we go ahead and do one of these? We've done it before, but let's, huh?
Sure.
Okay, so Kelly, we'll make sure we don't send this to the seller, but I'm just going to put Derek at ColdwellBankerSD.com and Kelly.Mays@ColdwellBanker.com. Okay, so Kelly, I know you're not watching, but you're going to get an email. All right, price range. Let's see, this house I think was 217, so we'll go 200 to 280 square foot. You don't have to put anything in there. A price tag of 200, 280 is kind of going to take care of some of these things. Not worried about the beds. I'm just worried about price range. Acreage, no minimum. Community name, zip code, one selected. Let's just leave it at that because I'm sure in Grand Junction there's a fair amount of homes on the market. But I could change that to the community if I wanted to focus on more of like, I don't know, there are communities in Grand Junction, like Upper Cliffside or something like that. Okay, I'm not going to send this, but I can change this to, I want to send this every week to my seller. If it's a super active market, maybe you want to do that. In resort markets, it's probably every 4 weeks you would send something like this to your seller. But I'm going to leave it at do not send right now because I don't want to mess anything up like I did for Robert Yazbek last week. Sorry, buddy, you're awesome. Okay, show listing details. And I can read what all these things are. I want to not include the showing activity report just because if it's low, they're going to freak out. Why haven't people been showing it? What's wrong? They don't understand how these things work. So you don't need to give them everything. You want to give them the things that you can address and look like the authority on and not have to apologize for or backpedal on. Okay?
It would be really great to show if they've had a lot of showings, and then it's a great way to get a price reduction.
So Stephanie's got a great point. Use this showing stuff if you, A, are thinking this needs to come down and there's hardly been any showings. Why aren't people showing this? It's not because it's a bad neighborhood. It's because the only reason we can come up with is it's too high. Okay, or tons of showings but no offers. Why is that? It's not because of the smell in the house. It's because people want to go see it and then it's too hot. So you can leverage this part of the report for a price reduction. But if it's just not showing, and I mean, just know why you're including something in these reports. Does that sound fair? Yes, good. Okay, include web activity report, web activity graphs. People love graphs. No matter what they say, they think, oh my God, there's a graph here. This is awesome. I am so informed because there are little spikes going up. So probably use that. Competition report, yes, I think that's good. Betsy, I'm glad you liked that a little bit. At least someone did. Lee was like, whatever, dude, that's not even funny. Show competitive listings, yes. Include referrals report, maybe. Send this to yourself first so you see what you're getting into. If you send this to your client and you haven't looked at it and they call and say, what's this all about? Then you're sitting there scrambling and keeping your fingers crossed. Don't do that. So I'm going to take the referral stuff out because, I don't know, I just don't want to do it. Okay, so I'm going to click, I don't want to click send now because what I did last week and I sent.
Why don't you click view?
And then I'm going to click view because that seems like a good thing to do. Get Stephanie out of the frame there. There, that's better. Okay, and so what we've done. Okay.
I couldn't see that view.
Lisa, what happened? Internet. Okay, so here is what this report would look like. Since I was so smart to click view, now we can see what this is looking like. And Alexi, I gotta say, like with the light and then your camera's got a little fog on it or something, it really, and there's an Eiffel Tower behind you, I really feel like we're talking to someone in Paris. It's awesome. Okay, so here is the report that would go out. List price, this is all the information about your home. I'm not sure if the truck comes with this home, but that would be kind of a cool thing.
Get over the truck.
Stephanie, who is like the queen of this photo can't have this in here, just tells me to get over the truck. Cool. All right, web activity, overview. In 1 week, so this has just come on, right? So it's only got really 1 week of stats to look at, but look at all this information here. Information is good. Like it just shows that you know what is happening with your listing. It makes you look like the authority. And if there's something I say every single time, it's that. Be the authority. Have the knowledge so that people really respect, no matter what the numbers are, it's information that you can address. Okay?
Can I ask, is this web information, this web activity, is this just from IQ Office, or what is this? Where is this from?
Right. And so we will get to that,
Oh, sorry.
I think. That's a good question, though. So Stephanie's question, where is this from? Agent listings. Lexi, can you answer that? Anytime, like, there's a tough question, I'm just like, oh, Lexi's in the house.
She's leaving.
She's leaving. She's like, dude.
I don't know the answer now.
Like, I don't know that one. I think that this is just the stats from the website from IQ Office. I don't think that this is
Individual.
all the web traffic.
No, I don't think.
But let me find out.
Well, don't worry about that yet, and because I think we're going to get to a place where we see all that, because there's a report that does that
And
too.
can I make a point to that?
Kathy's going to make a point to that.
So, and I think Stephanie, I'm going to use you as an example. Stephanie runs everything through IQ Office. And so when this report is generated, because she puts all of her showings into this, they're getting real information. If you don't choose to put everything into this, it's going to be kind of a skewed report. So it's really important, if you're going to use these, is to use IQ Office and use it to its entirety to really get a real accurate report. Because your report's going to be accurate as opposed to somebody who doesn't put it in all the time.
Right.
Okay, so this chart shows the number of times your listing appeared on the featured homes page. Lexi, is there qualifications to get on that, or does that happen for new listings de rigueur, which is French for de rigueur?
You order a marketing package.
If you order a CB1, 2, or 3, your home is going to be on the featured home.
A 2 or a 3.
A 2 or a 3, okay. So,
just know that before you add that.
yeah.
Right, Sean? It's not in a 1?
Yeah, that's correct. It's a 2 and 3.
Okay, so explain to me then real quick, this has been on the featured homes. Did they order a CB2 for this home?
Probably.
Okay, excellent. All right, again, this just came on, so there's no information here, but like I said, people love graphs. They look like they're really scientific. So this is good stuff. We don't have to go through every single thing. Just know that this report lives, and you can use it. Here's the competition, which I think is pretty cool. And look at how high up still we are on the scroll bar. There's a lot of information down below. So this is a pretty intensive and in-depth report. Again, if you're sending this to your sellers, they're going to get all this, and there's going to be a lot of stuff there for them to process. So maybe you don't want to send the whole thing. You can decide on that. So listed. So competition activity. Remember, we put in a filter of 200 to 280,000 in this zip code. Didn't worry about anything else because the price probably take care of itself. So in the last 4 weeks, here's what's come on. And this is just great information for you to be able to say, okay, look, here's your competition. Here's what other people are looking at in this neighborhood. Are you going to use it to get a price reduction? Maybe. Are you going to use it to get them to paint their house? Maybe.
Better hurry up, there's 31 in there.
Move their truck.
Move it along.
Maybe you get them to move their truck. Here's yours, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, here's yours. It's towards the bottom of the list, as you would figure, but, you know, there's a lot of nice homes for 220,000 in Grand Junction. Does anyone know an agent in Grand Junction that I could use?
You
Go
just
back
pass
up.
reduce.
Yeah, you just hit right there.
Oh, okay, here we go. So at the bottom was 209,850, and then here's the next set of information, price reduced last 4 weeks. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, these are the homes that have come down in price. It doesn't say right off the bat what it came down from. Maybe that's important, maybe not, but you can say, look at all these homes that the sellers have decided to lower their price.
And if you decide to set them up on like a weekly or a bi-weekly report, they can see how things are coming down.
Say, you know, I'm not sure if you can hear her, but on a property watch?
So they can see what's happening around.
Yeah, this is another way to do the same thing, right?
Interesting. Raise your hand or say yes if you've set up your sellers on a property watch.
Yes.
Anyone else? I've only thought of it from a buyer standpoint, but here we are. All other listings, these are ones that exist already. The top part was last 4 weeks. The next part was reduced, and this set is all the other ones in the zip code that are on the market for that price point. Is it an overload of information? Probably. You live in a high density area like Grand Junction, you're going to get this type of activity. Resort markets, this list won't be nearly as long, but all that really matters is this stuff is in here, and it can be used as another tool in your quiver to say what an authority you are on the real estate market and on this listing. Okay, and also don't be afraid to use this type of thing in a listing presentation. You don't even have the listing yet, but you can go into that presentation and say, here's a listing I just brought on. Look at all the information I was able to send my seller after 1 week. Don't even care what the information is. They're going to you send them red graphs? Oh, I'm going to hire you, right? It's probably not that simple. Okay, I'm going to take these out. I don't want to do anything on Kelly's behalf. But that's right there. Where am I? I'm in my listing. I highlighted and I hovered over the listing, clicked it, and I've got all these things that I can look at here. Finally, what's the history? This doesn't mean it was built in 1982 and painted in 88. This is the history of any inputting or adjustments that happened to this listing. So since it just went in, there's only a couple things here, but if I wanted to view what that actually looked like, that was fun. Always use close in IQO, not back. Back will get you out of where you want to be. Always use close.
Question on the showings again. Can you go back to that tab? So does this show, would this show the showing history, like all the showings that you've gotten?
No, that's the next thing we're going to get to. Okay. All right. I'm going to work my way out of this drawer and show you this one more time. We're in listings. Okay. So I should have closed and not clicked listings. My bad. I didn't even listen to my own advice. Remember, it's going to go to company listings. It's going to freak you out. You can see all of your office's listings by just unclicking these, except for your one office. You can see it by, okay, so you can do a lot of stuff here to filter what listings you want to see. Stephanie was saying she likes to, every morning she likes to go through the 828 listings just to see what's happened with our company. Okay, so I click on my listings.
Derek?
Ashley, I see you've unmuted yourself. Yes, hi.
Hey, so it's not working for Bozeman. I'm having Dylan send Miss Alexi an email. When he unclicks everybody and just has Bozeman, it actually only shows his listings, not all the listings.
It only shows Bozeman's listings?
It only shows his listing. It doesn't show all of ours, like all of them for Bozeman.
Okay. Okay. Let's after this is done, we'll connect to Ashley and see what is happening. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. So I'm back on my listings. I hover over one. Maybe I wanted to do this now for the this home in Fruita that's been on the market since 5/2. Okay. So I click on the listing. Here's all the details. Here's where I can do those really cool share things. I'm not going to do any of those. This was, Alexi, this was interesting.
In there.
Huh?
You can do that in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, you can do this in here too. Here's what was interesting is when I was doing that one with Kelly's, with the single listing website, it started with the mavesgroup.cb distinctive. But here, this is what I really wanted to look like. When I click on the globe, this is the URL I really want. This one's like the straight up. Do you know why there's two different URLs for that? I want to figure that out because this is the cleanest one. This is the one I want. You don't have to answer that. I'm just saying there's a little distinction. This is Kelly's. Kelly and Jamie.
This is Kelly. So they both were Kelly's listings?
Yeah. But what I'm saying is I want this globe here. If you look down at the bottom left, it says 1801 N Road. That's the URL I want. When I did it, maybe it's because I wasn't in the details page. When I do it here, then it gives me mavesgroup.com/showcase. And that's a little bit bulkier than I want.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let me find out why it's doing that. I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Because
and then also on the showing tab that you were just talking about in a listing, it does show the entire showing history.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
You should pick one that's not new.
Okay. So showings.
That will show the showing history.
I did. Okay, I'm down. Sorry. I want to move to one other thing. We're going to look at one other thing regarding listings. Okay, so that was all in the listings file cabinet. I want to go to the tools preferences file cabinet for my last little bit here and just show you a couple other tools. So I'm sorry we left that one in kind of like, where are the showings and what's that? But as long as you're getting the gist of what's in these file cabinets, that's really my main point. Okay, so over in here in tools preferences, more reports that you can be generating. And Stephanie, I think, Teresa, can you close that door, please? I think this is maybe going to answer Stephanie's questions about overall website stuff, which you can also get on ListHub, and that'll be for next week. But in the tools preferences, you can find reports on you, your website profile hits. Are you using the right language in your profile to get hits on you? If you're not using the words real estate and luxury and Sun Valley real estate and Montrose real estate professional, maybe you're not getting the hits you need. So that would be something to find out. Lead reports, how many leads are you getting? And then listings reports. Since we're already talking about things, I'm going to go into that, and we're just going to do one really quick here. Okay. There's 5 different types of reports here. Impressions by page, views, best. They're all kind of, I don't know. Websites are bizarre sometimes. There's a lot of minutia here. I'm going to go to listings views because that one makes the most to me. And
Is it just me that you're totally breaking up? Am I the only one that's that?
It's mine too.
It's here too.
Derek, you're breaking up.
a little one.
You have your Sue's sister's name is diffused to.
So I'm going to stop share to everyone. Okay. I'm going to chat. So look at your chat. That's all I'm going to do. Internet unstable. Hi, Adam. How you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. Okay, so well, I don't want to do this glitchy. That's for today. Call it a day. La land here. Looks like I kind of am. So bye. Bye. Sorry.
Bye.
Lexi,
Bye.
face, please.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. End meeting.